Honestly, he's the love of my life. You're just who I'm with right now, she said quietly about her ex during a fight. I didn't respond, just went to the bedroom and packed my things. She followed me, asking what I was doing. I said, letting you go back to him. She started crying, saying she didn't mean it like that. I zipped my bag and left. I, 27, male, had been with Emma, 26, for 2 years. We lived together in a small apartment downtown, split the rent, shared groceries, talked about getting a dog someday. I thought we were building something real. Then one night, during an argument that started over Instagram photos, she said the words that ended everything. Honestly, he's the love of my life. You're just who I'm with right now. The room went quiet. I didn't shout or slam doors. I walked to the bedroom and started pulling clothes from the closet. She followed me, voice rising from defensive to panicked, asking what I was doing. I told her calmly, letting you go back to him. She started crying, saying it came out wrong, that she didn't mean it like that. I zipped my bag, looked at her once, and walked out. No second chances for someone who sees you as a placeholder. Looking back, the signs were always there. Emma kept her ex, Ryan, 28, in her life in ways that felt too close. His name came up in stories about her past like he was still part of her present. She'd mention inside jokes they shared, places they went, songs that reminded her of him. When I asked why she still followed him on every platform, she'd say they ended on good terms and staying friends was mature. I didn't push it. I thought being secure meant not being controlling. Her phone lit up with his messages sometimes. Late at night, early mornings, random afternoons. She'd smile at the screen, type back quickly, then lock it without explaining. When I asked who it was, she'd say, just Ryan checking in, like that was supposed to feel normal. Once, I saw a text preview that said, miss you too, but when I mentioned it, she got defensive. She said I was reading too much into things, that I was being insecure. I backed off. I didn't want to be that guy who made mountains out of nothing. But the photos stayed up. Her Instagram still had pictures of them together from 3 years ago. Beach trips, holiday parties, close-up selfies where they looked like they were still in love. I never asked her to delete them. I figured the past was the past. Then our friends started noticing. My buddy Jason saw her profile and asked if she was still with her ex. My cousin scrolled through her feed at a family dinner and looked confused when I said we'd been together for 2 years. Emma laughed it off when I brought it up. She said deleting old photos felt performative, like she was trying to erase history. I dropped it. I didn't want to seem possessive. The apartment we shared told its own story. She kept a box in the back of our closet labeled Memories. I found it one day looking for winter clothes. Inside were ticket stubs from concerts she went to with Ryan, a sweatshirt with his college logo, birthday cards he'd written her. She caught me looking at it and said she kept mementos from all her relationships. I asked if she had a box for us. She said she didn't need one because we were still happening. At the time, I thought that was sweet. Now I realize it meant she'd already decided we had an expiration date. Her friends treated me differently too. When we'd hang out with her college group, they'd bring up Ryan's stories like I wasn't there. Remember when Ryan did that thing at the lake house? Remember Ryan's terrible karaoke? Emma would laugh along, never redirect the conversation, never acknowledge it might be awkward for me. Once, her friend Jess actually said, Ryan was so good for you, right in front of me. Emma just smiled and said, he was. I sat there like furniture. The worst part was the comparisons. She never said them outright, but they were there. Ryan used to take her camping every summer. Ryan loved the same band she did. Ryan knew how to fix things around the house. I tried to plan trips, learn her music, offer to help with repairs, but it never felt like enough. I was always measuring myself against a ghost I could never compete with because he lived in her memory as perfect. The real Ryan could mess up. Memory Ryan never did. Then came the night that changed everything. We were sitting on the couch after dinner, scrolling on our phones. I noticed she'd posted a throwback photo of her and Ryan from some concert. The caption read, best night ever. I felt something tighten in my chest, but I kept my tone light. I asked, why post that now? She shrugged, said it came up in her memories. I said it felt weird to me, posting old couple photos while we were together. That's when her mood shifted. She said I was being ridiculous, that I was trying to control what she shared. I said I wasn't trying to control anything. I just wanted to understand why her ex still felt so present in her life. The argument escalated. She said I was jealous and insecure. I said I wasn't jealous. I just wanted to feel like I mattered. She snapped back that I did matter, but that didn't mean she had to erase Ryan from her past. I said it wasn't about erasing him. It was about making space for us. She stood up, voice rising, said I was making a big deal out of nothing. I asked if she still had feelings for him. She hesitated. That hesitation told me everything. Then she said the words that ended us. Honestly, he's the love of my life, she said, voice sharp and frustrated. You're just who I'm with right now. The words landed like a slap. I stared at her, waiting for her to take them back, to say she didn't mean it. She looked away, arms crossed, like she'd just stated a fact she'd been holding in too long. The silence stretched between us. My chest felt tight. My hands went cold. I didn't yell or argue. I just stood up from the couch and walked toward the bedroom. She called after me. What are you doing? I didn't answer. I opened the closet and pulled out my duffel bag. She followed me into the room, her tone shifting from defensive to panicked. What are you doing? She repeated, louder this time. I started pulling shirts off hangers, folding them quickly, stacking them in the bag. She stood in the doorway watching me, her face pale. Are you seriously leaving right now? She asked. I said yes. She stepped closer, voice cracking. Over one thing I said in the heat of the moment. I stopped packing for a second, looked at her directly, and said, You don't say something like that in the heat of the moment. You say it because it's true. Her eyes filled with tears. She said it came out wrong, that she didn't mean it the way it sounded. I asked her what she meant then. She stumbled over her words, said she was just frustrated, that I was pushing her about Ryan, and she lashed out. I zipped the bag halfway, grabbed my phone charger from the nightstand, and said, You told me the truth. I'm just choosing to believe you. She started crying harder, reaching for my arm. I stepped back. She said, Please don't do this. We can talk about it. I love you. I shook my head. No, you don't. You're with me. That's not the same thing. I finished packing, grabbed my laptop, my wallet, my keys. She blocked the bedroom door, pleading now, saying she'd delete the photos, cut Ryan off, do whatever I needed. I told her I didn't want her to do anything. I wanted her to be honest, and she finally was. I moved past her gently, walked to the front door, and put my shoes on. She followed me the whole way, sobbing, saying she made a mistake, that she didn't mean it. I opened the door, looked at her one last time, and said, I hope you find what you're looking for. Then I left. The drive to Jason's place was a blur. I kept replaying the moment in my head. The way she said it so easily, like it was obvious. Like I should have known I was temporary. Like I'd been auditioning for a role someone else already had. My phone started buzzing before I even got to Jason's. Text after text from Emma. I glanced at the screen at a red light. Please come back. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. We can fix this. I put the phone face down and kept driving. Jason opened the door, took one look at my face, and said, What happened? I told him everything. He didn't say much at first, just helped me bring my stuff inside, made space on the couch, handed me a beer. Then he said, You did the right thing, man. No one should be someone's backup plan. I nodded. I didn't feel like I did the right thing. I felt like someone had ripped the floor out from under me. But I knew staying would have been worse. Staying would have meant accepting that I'd always be second best. Update 1. I stayed at Jason's place that night. Crashed on his couch, didn't sleep much. My phone buzzed nonstop. Emma sent 15 texts before midnight. Apologies, explanations, promises to change. I panicked when you started packing. The words came out wrong. I love you. I don't want to lose you. Please just come home so we can talk. I read the first few, then muted the conversation. Jason asked what happened. I told him. He said, Good for you, man. You deserve better than being someone's consolation prize. The next morning, the texts kept coming. She called 6 times before 9 a.m. I didn't pick up. She left voicemails. In the first one, she was crying so hard I could barely understand her. I've been thinking about it all night. I realized how badly I messed up. Ryan is just part of my past. You're my future. Please believe me. I deleted it halfway through. If I was her future, she wouldn't have needed to think about it all night. She would have known. By day 3, mutual friends started reaching out. Emma had told them we broke up, said it was over a misunderstanding. My friend Kayla called and asked what happened. I told her the truth, word for word. Kayla went quiet for a second, then said, She actually said that? I said yes. Kayla sighed. She said Emma had been talking about Ryan a lot lately, even at girls' nights. She'd mention things he used to do, compare me to him sometimes. Kayla thought it was just nostalgia. Now she wasn't sure. More friends called. Some took Emma's side at first, said relationships go through rough patches, that I should hear her out. I told them exactly what she said. Most went quiet. A few said I did the right thing. Emma's best friend, Jess, called me directly. She said Emma was a mess, barely eating, crying constantly. She asked if I'd consider meeting Emma to talk it through. I said no. Jess pushed back, said people say things they don't mean when they're angry. I said, she meant it. And I'm not interested in being someone's consolation prize. Emma changed tactics. She started posting cryptic Instagram stories. Quotes about mistakes and second chances. Photos of our apartment with captions like, empty spaces, full of regret. She posted a picture of the couch, where we had the argument with the caption, I'd take it all back if I could. I didn't respond. I didn't like or comment. I unfollowed her account. Jason said she was trying to bait me into reaching out. I told him it wouldn't work. Then she showed up at my work. I was leaving the office around 6 p.m. when I saw her standing by my car. She looked like she hadn't slept in days. Eyes red, hair pulled back, wearing the sweatshirt I'd given her for Christmas. She said, please, just 5 minutes. I said no. She stepped closer. I need you to understand. I was angry. I said something horrible. But it's not true. You're not just who I'm with. You're everything to me. I unlocked my car. She grabbed my arm. Don't you still love me? I looked at her and said, I loved who I thought you were, not who you showed me you are. I got in the car and drove away. She stood there watching me leave. Update 2. A week after I moved out, Emma posted a photo of her and Ryan. They were at some coffee shop downtown, smiling, sitting close. The caption read, reconnecting with old friends. My phone blew up within minutes. Friends sent me screenshots, asking if I'd seen it. I had. I didn't say anything publicly, but I saved the screenshot. Timestamp showed it was posted 6 days after I left. So much for me being her future. Kayla commented on the post. Interesting timing. Emma deleted the comment within minutes, then deleted the whole post an hour later. But people had already seen it. Screenshots were circulating in group chats. Mutual friends started asking Emma directly what was going on. She said she was just meeting up with an old friend, that it wasn't what it looked like. But the damage was done. People started connecting the dots. If she was meeting Ryan less than a week after I left, and she'd called Ryan the love of her life during our fight, the timeline made perfect sense. Ryan posted his own photo the next day. Same coffee shop, same table, same smile. His caption, good to catch up with someone who gets me. Emma liked it immediately. Then she unliked it 10 minutes later. Then she commented a heart emoji. Then she deleted the comment 5 minutes after that. I watched it all happen in real time through friends' screenshots. Jason said, she's spiraling. I said, not my problem anymore. Emma's texts changed tone. She stopped apologizing and started accusing. You gave up too easily. You didn't fight for us. Real love means working through hard conversations, not running away the second things get difficult. I finally replied. One message. You told me you were settling for me. I chose not to let you. She responded instantly, paragraphs of backtracking. That's not what I said. You're twisting my words. I was frustrated and said something stupid. You're using it as an excuse to leave because you were looking for a reason anyway. I muted the conversation again. Then her mom called me. I almost didn't pick up, but I liked her mom. She'd always been kind to me, treated me like family. She said Emma told her what happened, that she was devastated, barely functioning. I said I appreciated the call, but I wasn't changing my mind. Her mom went quiet for a moment, then said, I understand. If someone said that to my daughter, I'd tell her to leave too. That surprised me. She continued. Emma's always compared her relationships to what she had with Ryan. It's not healthy. She needs to figure out why she does that before she's ready for something real. I thanked her for being honest. She said, you deserve someone who knows you're the love of their life, not just who they're with. A few days later, Jess sent me a long message. She said she'd had a serious conversation with Emma, that Emma finally admitted she'd never fully gotten over Ryan, that she'd been holding on a hope he'd come back. When he didn't, she started dating me, thinking she could move on. But she couldn't. Jess said Emma knew she'd ruined something real, that she was getting help now, seeing a therapist. She said Emma wasn't asking for me back. She just wanted me to know she was taking responsibility. I read it twice, then archived the conversation. Her realizations weren't my responsibility anymore. Update 3. 2 weeks after I left, Emma went fully public with Ryan. Photos at restaurants, hiking trails, concerts. Captions like, finally back where I belong. And some people are worth the wait. Friends sent me every post. I didn't look at most of them. I'd already moved my stuff out of the apartment, stayed with Jason until I found a new place. I focused on work, hit the gym more, started seeing a therapist to process everything. But Emma wasn't done. She posted a photo of her hand holding someone else's hand. No face, just intertwined fingers. The caption, when you know, you know. Comments flooded in asking if it was Ryan. She didn't confirm or deny. Just hearted the comments that said she looked happy. Jess texted me. She's trying to get a reaction out of you. I didn't give her one. I didn't like, didn't comment, didn't reach out. Radio silence. Then Ryan's ex-girlfriend entered the picture. Her name was Natalie, 27. She saw Emma's posts and commented on one. Good luck with that. Emma deleted the comment. Natalie posted on her own account. PSA, some men will always keep you as an option. Don't be surprised when he does it to you too. Emma blocked her immediately, but screenshots started spreading. People started asking Natalie what she meant. Natalie posted receipts. Text messages from Ryan, dated from 2 months ago, where he told Natalie he missed her and asked if they could meet up. The same time frame Emma and I were still together. The messages showed Ryan telling Natalie that Emma was just a friend, that he never really got over Natalie, that he'd made a mistake letting her go. The messages were time-stamped, screenshots clear and unedited. One message read, Emma keeps reaching out, but she's not you. I was an idiot for not fighting harder for us. The group chat exploded. Kayla forwarded me everything. Ryan had been texting both Emma and Natalie, playing both sides. Telling Emma he wanted her back, while telling Natalie she was the one he really wanted. Natalie posted more screenshots. Ryan telling her Emma was desperate, that she'd been chasing him for years, that he was just being nice by staying in touch. Emma saw the posts. She went completely silent on social media for 3 days. No posts, no stories, no activity. When she came back, all the photos with Ryan were gone. Every single one. She posted a vague story. Lesson learned. Don't go backwards. I almost laughed. Almost. Then she posted another story an hour later. Sometimes the person you think is your soulmate is just the person who teaches you what you don't deserve. The irony wasn't lost on me. Emma texted me that night. You were right. I'm sorry. I didn't respond. She texted again an hour later. Ryan was using me. I should have seen it. I should have appreciated what I had with you. Still didn't respond. She called. I sent it to voicemail. She left a message. I know I don't deserve your forgiveness, but I need you to know you were right about everything. I was holding on to something that was never real. You were the real thing, and I ruined it. I deleted the voicemail without finishing it. Her realizations weren't my burden to carry anymore. Friends started telling me Emma was asking about me constantly. Where I was living, if I was seeing anyone, if I ever mentioned her. Kayla said Emma broke down crying at brunch, said she threw away the best relationship she ever had for someone who never really wanted her. I didn't feel vindicated. I didn't feel satisfied. I just felt tired. Tired of being part of her drama. Tired of being the one she realized too late was worth keeping. Emma's social media went dark after Ryan moved on. No posts, no stories, nothing. Friends said she deactivated all her accounts. Jess told Kayla that Emma quit her job, moved back in with her parents, stopped going out. She was barely functioning. Ryan, meanwhile, moved on fast. He posted photos with a new girl a week after the Natalie drama. Blonde, younger, worked in marketing. His caption, new adventures. Emma saw it before she deactivated. Jess said she cried for hours. Mutual friends started distancing themselves from Emma. Not out of cruelty, but because her spiral was exhausting. She'd call them late at night, rehashing the same regrets, asking if they thought I'd ever talk to her again. Most told her to move on. A few stopped answering her calls altogether. The drama had worn everyone down. Emma became the friend people felt sorry for but didn't want to deal with. Kayla ran into Emma at the grocery store a month after everything imploded. She said Emma looked terrible. Lost weight, pale, dark circles under her eyes. Emma asked about me immediately. Kayla told her I was doing fine, that I'd moved into my own place, that I seemed good. Emma started crying right there in the cereal aisle. She said, I ruined my life chasing someone who never wanted me while the person who actually loved me was right there. Kayla didn't know what to say. She just told Emma to take care of herself and left. Her mom called me one more time about 6 weeks after I left. She said Emma was seeing a therapist twice a week, working through why she sabotaged the relationship. The therapist helped her realize she'd been using me as a safety net while holding out hope Ryan would come back. She'd convinced herself Ryan was her soulmate because their relationship ended before it could fall apart. In her mind, he stayed perfect because they never had to deal with real life together. I was real life. Bills, routines, compromise. Ryan was fantasy. Her mom said Emma finally understood what she'd lost. That I'd been patient, kind, present. That I'd built a life with her while she was building a shrine to someone who didn't exist anymore. Her mom said, she knows she lost something real. I just wanted you to know she's taking responsibility now. Not because she thinks it'll get you back, but because she needs to face what she did. I thanked her for the update. I told her I hoped Emma found peace. But I didn't ask how she was doing beyond that. It wasn't my place anymore. Emma sent one final text 6 weeks after I walked out. No apology, no excuse. Just, I hope you find someone who never makes you feel like second best. You deserved better than me. I read it, sat with it for a moment, then archived the conversation. I didn't respond. Some people don't deserve closure from you. They just have to live with the choices they made. Emma had chosen Ryan over reality. Now she had neither. 3 months after I left, I ran into Emma at a coffee shop downtown. I was there with a woman I'd been seeing, someone I met through a friend at work. Her name was Claire, 28, and she made me laugh in ways I'd forgotten I could. She was a graphic designer, loved hiking, had this way of making everything feel easy. No games, no comparisons, no emotional landmines. Just genuine connection. We were waiting in line when I saw Emma sitting alone by the window. She had her laptop open, staring at the screen like she was trying to disappear into it. She looked up, saw me, and her face went completely pale. I nodded once, politely, the way you acknowledge a stranger. Then I turned back to Claire, who was telling me about some ridiculous client meeting. Emma stared for a few more seconds, then looked back down at her laptop. Her hands were shaking. Claire noticed the tension. She leaned close and whispered, "X." I said yes. She squeezed my hand and said, "You okay?" I was. I realized in that moment I didn't feel anger or sadness or even awkwardness. I just felt free. Free from being someone's backup. Free from wondering if I was enough. Free from competing with a memory. We got our coffee and left. I didn't look back at Emma. Not once. Claire asked later if seeing her bothered me. I told her honestly it didn't. I said Emma taught me something important. That I'd rather be alone than be someone's second choice. That I deserved to be with someone who didn't need to lose me to realize my value. Claire smiled and said, "I already know your value. That's why I'm here." That was the moment I knew I'd moved on completely. Not just from Emma, but from the version of myself that would have accepted being treated that way. Emma never texted again after that day. I heard through Kayla a few months later that she'd started dating someone new. Not Ryan, not anyone from her past. Someone she met through work. I hoped she learned her lesson. I hoped she treated him better than she treated me. But more than anything, I hoped she figured out that love isn't about holding on to what you lost. It's about appreciating what you have before it's gone. As for me, things with Claire got serious. 6 months after Emma, Claire and I took a trip to the coast. We stayed in a small cabin overlooking the ocean, spent our days hiking and our nights talking about everything and nothing. One night, sitting on the deck watching the sunset, she said, "You know what I love about you? You don't carry baggage. You dealt with your past and moved on. That's rare." I told her it wasn't always easy, that there were nights I questioned if I'd overreacted, if I should have given Emma another chance. Claire said, "Would you feel the way you feel with me if you'd stayed?" I said no. She said, "Then you made the right choice." We talked about moving in together, about what our future might look like. She never compared me to anyone, never made me feel like I was competing for her attention or affection. She chose me every day, clearly and without hesitation. That's what I'd been missing with Emma. The certainty, the feeling that I was someone's first choice, not their backup plan. A year after I left Emma, Claire and I got engaged. We were back at that same coastal cabin, same deck, same view. She said yes before I even finished asking. That night, she said, "I'm glad you walked away from someone who didn't see your worth. Because now I get to spend my life showing you every day that I do." I thought about Emma's words that night. "He's the love of my life. You're just who I'm with right now." The difference was staggering. Claire never made me question where I stood. She made sure I knew. Emma's mom sent me a congratulations message when she saw the engagement announcement through mutual friends. She said Emma was doing better, that she was genuinely happy for me, that she'd finally accepted responsibility for what she'd done. I appreciated the message. I wrote back thanking her and wishing Emma well. And I meant it. I didn't carry anger anymore. I carried gratitude. Gratitude that Emma showed me who she was before I wasted more years. Gratitude that I respected myself enough to walk away. Gratitude that her rejection led me to someone who actually wanted me. Some people come into your life to teach you what you won't accept. Emma taught me I won't accept being a placeholder. She taught me that when someone shows you who you are to them, believe them the first time. And she taught me that walking away isn't giving up. Sometimes it's the only way to give yourself the life you deserve. I walked away from someone who saw me as temporary, and I found someone who sees me as permanent. That's not luck. That's knowing your worth and refusing to settle for less. Emma's words broke me that night, but they also freed me. And for that, I'll always be grateful.